Oh my God. Sasha Banks is back after it had been rumored for months that Sasha was going to come back after the rumors that she was going to arrive the night after SummerSlam, and it happened. And not only did she come back, but she came back in a big way, attacking Natalia out of nowhere, having a fake wig that looked pink. And then from there, Becky Lynch tried to save Natalia only to get beat up herself with multiple chair shots to the back, being tossed to the steel steps, even taking off the bandage that Natalia had on her arm from her arm being hurt last night from the disarmor that Becky put her in. What a way for Sasha Banks to come back. And my goodness, it was funny because she was labeled as an heel. She was labeled as an heel on the WB station, and boy, is that the way she came back? What a great way for her to make her return! Absolutely, absolutely unexpected. I mean, although it was heavily rumored that she was going to return after SummerSlam, the fact that it actually happened blew the whole Toronto crowd out their seats. And not only that, but the fact that she came and attacked Natalia. Now, I, for one, thought that the first one she was going to attack was actually Becky Lynch, but instead, she attacked Natalia right as Natalia came out and brought up her dad and talked about how he passed away last year and the things he said to her, the motivation he gave her just for Sasha to come out, pretend like she was hugging her, and then to just sucker punch her and then attack her from there, only for Becky to try to save Natalia and get even worse of a beating with multiple chair shots to the back, being tossed to the stone steps. And of course, Corey Graves, even as a heel and even as a babyface, never has been on Sasha's side, neither time, especially since she came out while Natalia was talking about her dad, only for him to say about how she was taking time for herself and didn't even find the turn as a surprise. This should be very interesting because now I'm really hyped of seeing Sasha Banks versus Becky at Clash of Champions. I think this is where this is going to go. I think this is going to lead into a match between the two at Clash of Champions, which should be really interesting because I believe the last time these two faced each other one on one was back when they were in NXT. So for them to face each other at Clash of Champions is something fresh. It's something we hadn't seen in a long time, and especially with this new attitude that Sasha Banks has, it's exactly what she needs. Exactly what she it's exactly what she wants as a good way to make a return, not only as an heel, but now she dyed her hair blue, no longer pink. So she got a new attitude, a new look, and I absolutely like it. It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out, if this is going to lead to a match between the two at Clash of Champions. Even though that's not a big pay per view of the year, I would absolutely love to see it, especially since Becky has been champion since WrestleMania. I think this is exactly what we need to see, and it's going to be really interesting. Absolutely. I mean, my goodness, I knew Sasha was going to come back soon. We hadn't seen her since WrestleMania when her and Bayley lost the women tag team titles to the Iconics in a Fatal 4-Way tag team match, women's tag team match. After they lost the titles to the Iconics, she left. She took a break. She was gone. All of a sudden, she comes back, new hair, new look, attacks Natalia instantly, attacks Becky afterwards. You can only hope that this is going to lead into a match between the two at Clash of Champions, which I'm really interested to see. A lot of people tend to forget that when she first burst on the scene in the main roster, and even when she was in NXT, she actually was a heel. So she could play the heel role to perfection. She has been a heel before. When she first came to the main roster, she was a heel, a part of Team Bad with Naomi and Tamina, which didn't last very long. but she was a heel at that time throughout the time of 2015, and it wasn't until 2016 that she turned babyface. But since she's been babyface, it had been a lackluster run. There's been a lot of things about her babyface run that was going downhill, and she needed this change of character. She needed this complete change of development. She needed this complete change in herself, especially with the way how she was being booked as a babyface, constantly winning the championship, losing it in her first title defense. Only time she didn't lose the title in her first title defense is when her and Bayley won women's tag team titles. They retained them at Fastlane, but then they lost them at WrestleMania, which really doesn't say a lot. She left because she was angry. She didn't like the fact that they dropped the belts to Iconics. They wanted to elevate. She wanted to elevate the women's tag team titles, but that's not what happened. Took a break, gone for about 5 months now, and now she is back. She is hungry, and she is more vicious than she could ever be. And this is definitely the type of heel turn that we need, the type of change in character that we need from Sasha Banks. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out between her and Becky. I am all for it. For Classic Champions, a victory where all titles must be defended. I am absolutely all for it to see Sasha Banks not only go against Becky, but potentially even win the Raw Women's Championship. And hopefully this time, if she does win the Raw Women's Championship, whether it's Classic Champions, whether it's Hell in a Cell, whether it's Survivor Series, she actually gets to hold on to it a lot longer with this change in character. Now, it's not to say that that would mean much, given that she got her hair from pink to blue, but at the same time, I really like this change. Because a lot of people knew, I think a lot of people expected her to come back as a different person. But the fact that she came out, hugged the crowd, you know, made it look like she was happy to be back, and then only to attack Natalia out of nowhere after she hugged Natalia, attacked out of nowhere, ripped her casket off. I'm surprised she didn't put in a bank statement, which is what I was waiting for, and then the crowd started chanting, "Thank you, Sasha." Now, of course, you know, I'm not a fan of the crowd booing Natalia when she was bringing up with some of the crowd booing Natalia and she was talking about her dad and just talking about that and stuff, and it was boring. But I will say that the attack was very unexpected, especially when I thought for sure she was going to attack Becky and not Natalia. But in a sense, it makes sense because since Becky and Natalia just rivaled each other, just had a match against each other, it makes sense for her to attack Natalia, especially when both of them said they have respect from each other after facing each other last night at SummerSlam. It makes sense for her to attack Natalia, and not only that, but now attack Becky Lynch in a very, very brutal attack. Multiple chair shots to the back, slammed to the steel steps, slammed to the side of the the barricade. Just absolutely insane. I was thinking for sure that she was going to use a bank statement, but that's not what happened. All we saw was constant chair shots for the crowd to chant. Thank you, Saj, for the crowd to chant. Welcome back. All types of chants when Sasha came back. There's a lot of rumors that we hear, but they don't always happen. And that's the one thing about rumors. You hear rumors so much, but they don't always take place. This is one of those rumors that actually took place. Sasha Banks has come back, and she has come back in a major, major way. She has come back with a new attitude, with a new look, and I like every bit of it because type of change she needed, especially with how long she's been a babyface. Really, it seemed as if she was going to turn heel last year during the time her and Bayley were having their little fallout, is when it seemed like she was going to turn heel then, but it never actually ended up happening because at the end of it, they ended up having them just hug it out and become friends again. But that's when it really seemed like she was going to turn heel last year. But this year, it finally happened. Now, of course, Corey's talked about her stabbing people in the back, like saying this is nothing new. He doesn't find it surprising because he said the same thing even when she was a quote unquote babyface. But this time, this is a full fledged heel turn, which we have not seen from her since her days when she was a part of Team Bad and even when she broke away from them for a little bit. That was about the last time we seen her as a heel back in the year 2015. Since 2016, she's been a babyface, And for the most part, her babyface run has been very lackluster. And for this change in character, this is exactly, absolutely, exactly what we need. Exactly what she needs to change herself up, to reboost herself, to reinvent herself. And not only that, but the rumors, but the confirmation that King of the Ring is making a return, something we also have not seen since 2015. The last time King of the Ring existed was when Wade Barrett won the King of the Ring back in 2015 and became King Barrett. That was the last time we saw King of the Ring. We've seen Wade Barrett win it. Before then, Sheamus won it. We've seen William Regal win it. We saw Booker T win it. We've seen Stone Cold win it. We've seen Triple H win it. We've seen Brock Lesnar win it. We've seen Edge win it. That's a lot of people. Right to Hitman Hart, I believe, who actually won it twice. Holly Race, the late great Holly Race, who just passed away, he was the King of the Ring. We've seen so many legendary superstars winning King of the Ring, and it should be absolutely interesting to see what they're going to do with this. What exactly, who's going to win the King of the Ring? Who's this going to elevate? It's going to be interesting, especially with it starting next week. I, for one, thought that they were going to do this in like June or July because normally King of the Ring has always been held in June. But lately, the last couple of years that they've done King of the Ring, they've done it at random times of the year. It's not like that typical June type season like it's been in the past. It's actually been slightly different. You know, but this is going to be interesting. I really want to see how far they're going to go with this. Who exactly is going to take the throne this year? Who's going to be considered the next King of the Ring? Because the last person that was King of the Ring was Wade Barrett when he was in WWE. Before him, it was Sheamus. You know, Kurt Angle was King of the Ring. Um, we've seen so many King of the Rings in the past, and it's really elevated their careers. Triple H won it in 1997. Um, we've seen so many King of the Rings in the past, and it's elevated a lot of careers. And it's going to be interesting to see who exactly is going to be in this tournament. I know they said Drew McIntyre and Cedric are going to be in it. Which, by the way, hell of a match tonight. An absolutely hell of a match. It was great that Drew got the win. He needed that win. Um, it was a great match. That was actually the best match tonight, in my opinion, between Drew and Cedric tonight. Absolutely incredible match between the two. Um, it was just a stacked Raw. Tonight was just a really great Raw. They announced King of the Ring is back. I'm looking forward to it. I really want to see who's going to win the King of the Ring tournament. It's going to be extremely interesting to see who wins it this year, considering we have not seen it in the last 4 years. So to see the King of the Ring return is definitely interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to win this year, who's going to be crowned the King of the Ring. If it's going to actually get them anywhere, if it's going to actually elevate them. As we seen with Booker T, when he won it, he eventually became the world's heavyweight champion. Now, that's not to say that that's going to elevate them to that point, but everyone who's won the King of the Ring made a lot of history from there. And from Austin, particularly, that's when 316 was born. So we've seen a lot of history. We've seen a ton of history. And at this point, I didn't think they were ever going to bring King of the Ring back. One of the guys on Scotty Sanders brought that up about them bringing King of the Ring back. And, I'm pretty shocked they are. Even if this is just for a rating boost, even if this is just to get the crowd back invested, I really like that they're doing this. I think this is great for the talent, for someone to take the throne, especially after it has been gone for so long. And yeah, really interesting. I can't wait. Um, King of the Ring should be fun. King of the Ring should be fun. I can't wait for um, that to start next week. And oh, Sasha Banks, man. Sasha Banks, two things here. King of the Ring, which I'm absolutely surprised that they're bringing back. I didn't think it was ever going to come back. And it should be interesting to see who's going to actually win it this year. And what is it going to do for their career? Um, Sasha Banks made a hell of a return, attacking Natalia. And then from there, attacking Becky Lynch, potentially setting up a match between the two classic champions, which is something that Becky needs. I mean, because after her lackluster feud with Lacey Evans, that really um, took about two pay-per-views of her feuding with Lacey Evans. Um, it's great that she has something very refreshing. I mean, even with Natalia at SummerSlam, that was refreshing. But we've seen her deal with Lacey Evans. We actually saw her deal with Lacey Evans in about three pay-per-views because she faced her at Money in the Bank, which was for the Rollins Championship, and she lost her SmackDown Women's Championship to Charlotte due to the interference of Lacey Evans. They faced each other again at Stomping Grounds, in which Becky won that. Then they faced each other, and then that was when she was the ref in the Seth Rollins match, which led to the mixed tag team match um, at Money in the Bank, in which at Extreme Rules, excuse me, in which Becky and Seth won, and she retained her title. And it wasn't even until SummerSlam that she finally had someone new she was riding with, which in that case was Natalia. So the feud with Sasha Banks is definitely something she needs after her run as women's champion. Most of the time was just her feuding with Lacey Evans. So this is definitely something new that she needs without a question. So, like I said, I am all for this match. I definitely want to see it happen, even if it's way too soon because she just returned. I definitely want to see it happen because this new character, Sasha Banks, this new persona, Sasha Banks, is something I'm interested in. Not only that, but I'm hella interested in Uda Ring coming back after 4 years of being gone. It is back. So I'm gonna end the video off right here. Um, Sign off, Raymaster Flex. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Um, Maybe doing a SummerSlam and actually take a review before the end of this week. Sign off, Raymaster Flex. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys another day.